I am like burning up down here right now. It's not even May yet and I'm already dying of heat. Look at this, my cheeks are red, my ears all red. What is going on? Winter, come back please. But what is going on, my peeps, and welcome back to this week's brand new sweaty video. Now correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think the last time we did two different tasty recipes in the same video and put them up against each other was a long time ago when we did the buffalo versus the cheddar cauliflower bites. And considering that was months and months ago, and I remember how much you guys used to like them, I figured why not do another one today. In the red corner, standing 4 inches tall, weighing in at a whopping 430 calories a piece, the red velvet churros. In the blue corner, coming in at 3 inches tall and probably over 700 calories a piece, the chocolate stuffed churro donuts. Today we have the battle of the churro titans. Let's see who will prevail. First up today, we're trying out the red velvet churros. The ingredients you will need is a crap ton of oil to fry with, some flour, some sugar, some red velvet cake mix, which you only need about half of, brown sugar, water, cinnamon, butter, and a couple eggs. And the batter for these are pretty much going to start and finish in this very same pan. You want to start with 2 cups of water, add in a 1/4 cup of white sugar, 4 tablespoons of butter, mix that in until it comes to a boil over medium to high heat. Once that starts bubbling away, you want to add in 1 cup of your sifted flour, 1 cup of the red velvet cake mix, which by the way, it always kind of scared me a little bit how this turns like blood red. I don't really know the science behind this. But you just want to mix that all together thoroughly, take it off of the heat, and finish it off with 2 eggs. When you arrive at this sticky ball of dough, you are ready to start piping. I quickly threw in the largest star tip I had into one of my plastic piping bags. I threw it into a really tall glass cup and started to fill that with my batter. Don't fill this up too much because when you try to squeeze it, it'll shoot out of the top and make a big mess. I had to refill this about 3 times. But once that is all ready to go, I once again grabbed our questionably stained cookie sheet and began piping 3 to 4 inch length churros. But once your entire cookie tray is filled up, throw it into your freezer for at least 30 minutes until these things harden completely. In the meantime, we can move back over to our stovetop with a brand new pan and start heating up a few cups of vegetable or canola oil. I also quickly whipped up the cinnamon and sugar mixture with a 1/2 cup of sugar and a teaspoon of cinnamon. You're gonna have a lot left over for this, but it's gonna work out for me because I'll use this mixture for both recipes. Now 30 minutes later, I've removed our churros out of the freezer and carefully tried to pry them off of the cookie sheet. They were a little bit stuck, but a fork or a butter knife should work for this. And after that, just throw 3 or 4 into the oil at a time. Depending on how hot your oil is, it's gonna need anywhere from 4 to 6 minutes max. Unfortunately for me, I left some of these in a bit too long and they turned out a little bit on the brown side for my liking. I'm hoping that they're still gonna work the same though. Once I got a couple of them fried up, all you have to do now is carefully stick a straw through the middle of each churro, trying to hollow it out a bit. Just be careful with this step because some of these can be a little bit fragile. And in a completely new piping bag, this time with a small circular tip, I threw in some vanilla icing and carefully piped that throughout the middle of each one of my churros. Now this step was going pretty smooth until some of them wanted to pop out of some holes in the side of the churros. But just continue on until you fill as many churros as you like, and finally just toss them in your cinnamon and sugar mixture and plate them up. Now it might just be me guys, but I cannot imagine these things being anything but winners. How is there already a frickin' Nala hair on one of these things? That stuff just floats and gravitates all over the house, all over everything. Anyway. I can get on with these things. Do I dare say that we have a winner before I even attempt the second recipe? These things are fantastic. The bottom is a little bit soggy. Maybe I didn't strain the oil off as thoroughly as I should have, but still, really, really good stuff. So I'm gonna have to give these like an 8 out of 10. It is most definitely safe to say that these chocolate stuffed churro donuts have some living up to do because those last ones were amazing. But we're gonna give these a fair shake. And since most of the ingredients for these are the same as the last ones, I'm not gonna show you them. If you really wanna see them, of course, the recipe's down in the description. But again, begin over on your stovetop with another 4 tablespoons of softened butter. This time 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, a half teaspoon of salt, and then 1 cup of water. Again, you're gonna let this mixture boil over medium to high heat, and then for a second time, throw in a cup of flour. Of course, the main difference here is that we're not using the red velvet cake mix. Instead, we're using 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then 3 eggs, incorporating each one thoroughly, one at a time. Once that mixture is looking good, we can then again grab another piping bag, fill that with the mixture, and then reusing our questionably stained cookie tray, we can pipe out circles about 3 to 4 inches in diameter. You don't want to make these too big. That first one definitely looks a bit ugly, but by the second or third, I think I had it down. Once my cookie sheet was filled up, I went back and then topped off each ring with some chocolate chips. There's really no exact numbers for how many chocolate chips or anything you should use. Just fill up the whole ring. And once you have completed each one of those rings, you can go back for a third time and top everything off with another layer of your churro mixture. And just like the last recipe, these have to go into the freezer for at least 30 to 40 minutes just because they're a little bit bigger. After that time, again, you have to carefully pry them off of your cookie sheet and then drop them into your oil. It very quickly became evident to me that this oil was way too hot because the first few burned while the inside was still super raw. So I got that adjusted, and then the last couple ones came out pretty good. Now, like I said earlier, we can reuse the cinnamon and sugar mixture from the last recipe to coat these. And then once those are plated with a little drizzle of some chocolate syrup, these are ready to try as well. Now, I did say those last ones were gonna be pretty hard to beat, but I don't know now. Also, every inch of my house now smells like the funnel cake stand at a state fair, so just thought you should know. Oh God, guys, this is gonna be so hard. That crispy outer shell with the warm, soft center is just so damn good, but the chocolate drizzle kind of made it a little soggy again. I do have to say, if these were to have more chocolate in the middle, as you could see, there's like, wait, focus on the donut, please. If there were to have been more chocolate in these, I think it would have won by a landslide, but I don't know. I kind of feel like the chocolate chips are like few and far between. In a very, very close race, I'm gonna have to give these a 7.5, meaning that the red velvet ones win it. Let me just grab one more of these for the outro. But I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Versus episode. If you did, leave a like on this video for me. It really helps me out as always. My social media links are down in the description. If you want to follow me, go tweet at me, send me some pictures on Instagram if you ever replicate any of these videos. And other than that, have an awesome rest of your week, and I'll see you right back here for the next video.